Right. Welcome. So I've been trying to hit into the 2800s for a puzzle ELO, and I'm at 2784. So I thought I better hit record, and I could be brought in to check at any time. So I think the key to this puzzle is right there, at the C7 square. Sorry. My rooks are together and lined up, so that's good. And I'm just looking at all the possibilities. So in this scenario, if my opponent takes my queen, I'll win because my rooks are lined up. Okay, so I'm brought in to check, and I think the h3 is probably my best bet because I still have the situation on the 7th rank to where that plays to my advantage. So I think the h3, queen takes. Okay, so I'm trying to draw this out on the board and talk out loud. I really want to hit the 2800. I've not hit a 2800. I've been away from puzzles for a while, for a long while actually. I was really into Puzzle Rush there for a while. I don't know, I can't remember what my high score is, 57 or 58. And so this winter I might try to hit 60. Okay. So again, going back to this C7 square, I think that's the key that it's looking like that's correct. I normally try to solve these puzzles a little faster than this, but I'm trying to be careful. Okay, 2789. So creeping my way up to the 2800. I hope that's the plan. I just have to remember to stay calm. Now here, the first thing I notice is if I take the e2 with my rook and my opponent retakes, then my queen will swing to the first rank and it'll be mate. That seems awful easy for this level. So you see what I mean where that's mate. I can't believe it would be this easy, but okay. So they don't fall for that. Okay. So I figured there'd be more to this puzzle than what's there. So I think I can freely take the rook on d1. Make sure I'm not missing something here. Okay. Okay, so I think the best way to defend is with the queen on f8, on the 8th rank there, because if I swing out to h7, it just creates this perpetual motion leading to a draw, where I could, defend with pawn, then queen comes down, takes the f7, I'm in trouble. So I think the answer is that. Okay, so now it's going to be a rook and versus a bishop in game. So okay, 2794. Okay, so I have to keep my mind calm and just focus on my awareness. Just focus on your awareness. The mind is full of clutter. constantly full of clutter. So I'm trying to stay in the zen and focus on my awareness. Some people think the key to knowledge is to study and all this, and that's true to some degree, but mostly it comes down to we already have all these things by our very nature: peace, understanding. It's removing all the clutter, not adding to. So, yeah. So I just got to stay in the Zen moment here. Okay. Seems like bishop e6 check. There's going to be more to the puzzle than that. So I'm going down to the basics. I got 3 major. My opponent has 3 major. I have 2 minor pieces. My opponent has 2 minor pieces. I think they have 1 more pawn than I do. Quick glance. Yeah. So it's pretty evened up. I'm sure the puzzle starts with this check. And then I just take a major piece with a minor. My opponent cannot retreat on the 8th rank because my queen is right there. So just trying to stay relaxed, and so I think I would need to take the major piece. But oh no, I missed something. Let's take a look at what I missed. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I missed that. Okay. Dang, -7. Okay. We got a little slack to pick up here. Okay, so immediately it looks like the king is going to be boxed in because look at all these double bishops. This is why in an endgame you don't want to battle double bishops. Look at all those diagonals. And if I push the f pawn, the bishop retakes. So there's got to be a better way to keep that king trapped in. So I like the bishop position. Let's see how we can use some other pieces. I've got some slack to make up. I'm back down to 2787. I hate to take so long doing these puzzles, but I got to keep my head clear. So that is check, knight to d4, but I'm not convinced that's the answer. Doesn't look like it. I like this pushing the f pawn. So if I retake, then the king ends up on f5. But I think that allows too many escape routes for the king is the problem with doing that. Then the king's going to hop all over the place. I'm just going to waste tempo chasing it down. I'm just going to waste time. Time as in tempo time. Just chasing the king. I've already got in a good position here. Yeah, I could swing into g3. Again, too many escape routes. So I think the key is going to be bringing the a1 rook into this game here. So I'm hung up on using the knight, but it might be a sacrifice, a knight sacrifice, because if takes, then I get the a1 rook into the action, and then that should do it. Okay, I think we got it now. So knight sacrifice, here it comes. All right, and a1 rook, Just throwing pieces at the problem, doesn't work, and then that's it. Okay, we're at 2792. Okay, so yeah, I just have to tell myself, focus on awareness. Just being aware. Don't worry about your thoughts. Thoughts are like clouds in the sky. They come and they go. People think that's who we are, is our thoughts. They come and they go. But we're not our thoughts, because our thoughts come and go like one puzzle to the next puzzle. So what's the true essence of us? Our awareness. Okay, so this one, I'm playing white. I like white's position here. It seems like I could almost stair step to victory, but there's a few things. I realize my opponent's C rook can step in, but it'll just be a quick sacrifice. For my opponent, I mean. Okay, so this is the ideal stair step, but that's too easy. Because if I go on the 7th rank, my opponent's going to go back to the 8th rank behind the pawn, or on the 6th rank, h6. And then I'd have to hop back up to the 8th rank to swing to h8. And so that doesn't quite work. And I'm just weighing out all these options because I'm so freaking close. I normally like to solve these puzzles a little faster. The problem is, when you take a long time to solve a puzzle, you only get 5 points or so. But if you lose them, I had a puzzle the other day. Jeez, I think it was like 19 freaking points that I lost from one puzzle. It took me 3 wins to make up for it. It was ridiculous. So, yeah, so if I step up to d7, my opponent retreats to the the h file, sorry. This is what happens when you're trying to concentrate and talk at the same time. I've watched some of my videos in the past where I've talked and played chess or puzzles or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, what the hell was I saying? I don't even remember saying that. I used to not be able to talk out loud and play chess at the same time. Now I can. The problem is I don't know what the hell I'm saying usually. Okay. Okay, so obviously these 2 rooks are the key. It's just using them in the correct order. The order of operation here is what I'm looking for. Yeah, so I think it starts with d7. And then if my opponent, I'll own the back 2 ranks, rank 7, rank 8. So, and then of course my pawns create much difficulty for escape. So I think after analyzing this to death, probably, yeah, I think that's the key. So, again, like I said, that C rook can swing into action, but it's just a temporary avoiding the inevitable. Okay, let's put it in motion. Pretty confident. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay, all right, 2797. Okay, close. This is definitely a new high score for me. I really want to hit that 2800. Trying to be extra careful, extra cautious. And again, just trying to clear my mind, not get too excited. Focus not on my thoughts, but on my awareness. Just being aware. Being aware that I'm aware. Okay. So if I get this right, this could be it. So the first thing I notice is my opponent is using their pieces together very well. As a matter of fact, they're all pointed at my king, which I do not like. Okay, so I'm playing the black pieces here. And so I could just take a rook, but the queen and the bishop work together and it's mate. So I don't want to do that. It looks tempting at first glance. But there's got to be something else going on here. Because right now it could mate in one just by the queen capturing g7. So I have to make moves that are forcing moves, like mate moves. So my knee-jerk reaction is, a6, but it can retreat to the first rank, it being my opponent, sorry. So I own the first rank. What if I just push the pawn, the B pawn, captures, then I take the rook, queen takes, then I take the queen. Second guessing myself. What if the queen takes a3? Well, well, then I'll just take the rook with my knight if the queen does that. So that should be okay. That should be okay. Yeah, so let's do it. Okay. So there we go. This is now going to force king over to the B file. There's check. Okay, oh my god, yes. Because from here, I'm going to take the rook, and then the queen takes queen, and then knight takes queen on the d7. So, oh wow. Okay, first time I hit 2,800. I'm super excited. Super excited. Yeah, okay. Good deal, good deal. Super pumped about that. Hey, so, all right.